Tonight, 10 Investigates brings you an exclusive interview with 9 members of a Florida child protection team. They are speaking out against their boss, who they say could be jeopardizing child abuse cases. Here's 10 Investigates' Heather Crawford.
These workplace complaints are similar to past complaints against the same doctor in other states. And the employees you're about to hear from say the University of Florida is failing to address their concerns.
We're frequently interfacing with some of the worst things that you can possibly see in a vocation. And it makes a job that is already difficult to bear the weight of that much harder.
The truth is going to come to light, and what's right is going to happen.
Dr. Barbara Knox first caught our attention in 2024 after Corey and Diana Sullivan had their 3 young children taken from their custody after they took their baby to a Jacksonville hospital for a swollen leg. The board-certified child abuse pediatrician, who is the head of the First Coast Child Protection Team, told the couple their baby had multiple broken bones and a liver laceration.
She looked at me and said, "In my 30 years of experience, the only way for a child to obtain this injury is for her to be punched repeatedly in the abdomen, or she was drop kicked across the room." And I looked at her and said, "She's 8 pounds. Wouldn't we see any type of physical marks?" And she just kept saying, "No."
The Sullivans, who both now face felony child abuse charges, believe their daughter was misdiagnosed. A geneticist's report found she was malnourished in the womb, allowing for bone fractures to occur more easily without excessive force. While they fight to regain custody, 9 members of the First Coast Child Protection Team are coming forward with serious concerns about Dr. Knox, concerns they've raised in complaints with the agency.
We felt as if we had no other choice. We're here to protect those that can't speak for themselves. How do you go to work every day and protect abused children when the abuse is being perpetrated against you and your peers?
We agreed to distort their voices and not show their faces because they fear retaliation. While they would not discuss any specific cases due to privacy laws, they say Dr. Knox's behavior is alarming.
There has been numerous times when we all have been on call with Dr. Knox, and she will tell us not to call her past a certain time.
A complaint echoed in this December email from a case coordinator who wrote, "I received a call about a child's death and another about a child with possible head trauma, both of which occurred after 10 p.m. I was left in an uncomfortable position, unsure whether to follow Dr. Knox's instructions or prioritize the urgent needs of patients."
Some of the cases, the evidence collection is time sensitive, so it could be a sexual assault or sexual abuse case where there's so much time permitted to collect that DNA evidence, and if she's telling you not to call her, time's ticking, and so that evidence could be lost.
Another complaint that a source shared with us said, quote, "Dr. Knox is verbally abusive and uses fear and intimidation to force us into agreeing with her."
I don't know how anyone could look at her history, her record, the way she treats her staff, and assume that she has sound judgment.
Dr. Knox did not respond to our emails requesting a comment, and a University of Florida spokesman said she declined our request for an interview. The university sent us complaints filed against her, including this 66-page packet addressed to Governor DeSantis in 2022 from a concerned parent who shared articles published about Dr. Knox in states where she previously worked. The parent wrote that she has, quote, "seen the devastation that Dr. Barbara Knox has left across the states in her false allegations of medical child abuse to unsuspecting parents." This March 2024 complaint says her lack of reviewing the full medical history of her patient has resulted in unwarranted abuse allegations against the parents. And another anonymous complaint that same month said Dr. Knox has lived up to her reputation, creating a hostile and intimidating work environment by bullying others. She steps outside the guidelines of child welfare protocols. What are some words used to describe your current work environment?
Hostile, unpredictable, disruptive, unprofessional, almost a dictatorship.
They say they've documented their concerns with the University of Florida, but feel those complaints have been ignored.
She will indicate to other employees that this employee has mental health problems. They've gone off the deep end. They need to see a therapist. It's part of her MO. It's what she does to every employee who she feels like is pushing back.
And so do you think Dr. Knox's behavior is impacting the cases, child abuse cases here on the First Coast?
Yes.
The University of Florida declined our request for an interview, but sent us a statement saying Dr. Knox's expertise in her field is well established, as are her positive contributions on behalf of children. When she was hired by the University of Florida, she met all conditions of employment, and she continues to do so. Dr. Knox is a key part of the faculty, and since her arrival, her background and understanding in the field have enhanced our program and have made the community a safer place for children and their families.
First and foremost, we feel that UF was negligent in even hiring Dr. Knox, given her past.
In 2019, Dr. Knox was placed on paid administrative leave by the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health, due in part to her workplace behavior, according to this letter. UW Health told us she resigned before its investigation was complete. She was then hired in Alaska to lead a statewide child abuse clinic where Anchorage Daily News and Wisconsin Watch reported current and former employees made dozens of complaints about her management and medical judgment. She resigned in 2022 and was hired by the University of Florida that same year, offered $280,000 annually for her faculty appointment, according to this letter from UF.
I think that there's a pattern of this behavior. It's not a coincidence that this has happened in 2 other states, and to be further targeted and retaliated against for speaking out against the toxic, disruptive behavior is not only damaging to kids in the community, it's tarnishing the child protection team reputation and her credibility.
And to the administration at UF Health, to the Board of Trustees, to the Florida Department of Health, what do you want them to know about Dr. Barbara Knox?
You have 9 people sitting here knowing very well that they could be signing their own letter of termination. And they're all sitting here before you telling their stories. It's serious, and it needs attention. And not only does it need attention, there needs to be action.
And we, of course, will continue to follow this story. Heather Crawford, 10 Investigates.